Welcome to another edition of Martial Arts Real Talk. Here in the studio we have a very special guest, my friend. The competitors that you got to see, or at least was around, that the casual martial artist would know today that maybe you've seen in person.
Well, I personally, my instructor was Master Kyosho Hirano. He was 1960 All Japan Karate-Do champion.
Okay.
He really inspired me to stay in martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
And he spent time with me, and he told me I had a lot of potential of being a tournament champion.
Okay.
And that really inspired me.
You hearing that from your instructor?
Well, yeah. He was Japanese, and I trained in Hawaii. I was promoted third degree in Hawaii under him, and second degree here in the mainland. But anyway, he inspired me, and I personally met Bruce Lee.
Oh wow!
1969 in Washington D.C. I fought in a tournament there, and I personally met him, talked to him, and they asked him a question. They said, "Are you a expert?"
They asked Bruce Lee if he was an expert in the martial art? Okay.
And he said, "No, I'm not an expert." I'll never forget that. He said, "Well, the great Bruce Lee, you're not an expert?" It's, "No, I practice it."
How about that?
He said, "I'm not an expert," which he was an expert.
Right, yeah.
I've seen him perform, but I mean...
But that says something about his humility. I mean...
Humility, he was very humble.
Yeah.
And he was a nice fellow. He treated me good.
Yeah.
And, and everything. So, but anyway, it's...
And when you think about Bruce Lee, who had just tremendous amounts of charisma, I mean, people were just drawn to him.
Oh, yeah. He was
and yet, when he was asked the question, "Hey, Bruce, you're an expert in the martial arts," and he said, "No, I'm a practitioner."
Yeah.
That goes back to what I guess we talked about earlier. You never quit learning.
Never quit learning.
He pushed himself.
That's right.
And so you heard that with your own ears, from his lips to your ear.
Yeah.
What do you think, had he not died, what could he have done? I mean, he'd be 72 today. I mean, you're talking another 30 years. What more could he have offered? Sky's the limit?
The sky's the limit. This guy was phenomenal.
Wow.
Really, he died real young, 32 years
32,
old.
yeah.
He's real young. He's just getting started, really, in the motion pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
And he would have gone way, way far.
Yeah.
And if he was here today at 32, I mean, he was way before his time.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
way before his time.
What he was doing was so revolutionary that today people are still learning from him.
Right.
I mean, so it's
they're practicing their techniques from him, especially full contact fighters.
When I think about Bruce Lee, 5'7", maybe 140 pounds, somewhere between 138 and 142, somewhere in there. He was not a big man, but incredible hand speed, incredible power. Can anybody obtain that with practice through the martial arts, or does it take a special person, dedication?
I think it takes a special person, dedication, but you got to practice. You practice 16, 18 hours a day.
Wow! From when he got up to
I mean, he practiced on one technique, and he continuously practiced all the time. So that's why he's real good.
One of his famous quotes, and I've always remembered this, is that he said, "I'll never be afraid of the guy who's practiced 10,000 different kicks, but I would have respect for that man who's practiced one kick 10,000 times."
Exactly.
He focused on basics. And trained it to the point where it was just reaction. Yeah.
And he has basics down.
Oh yeah.
And because a lot of people can't do the fancy kicks and everything, but you can't. Everybody does have a basic
technique.